بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تنزيل الكتاب من الله العزيز الحكيم إنا أنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق فاعبد الله مخلصا له الدين.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We continue inshallah ta'ala with Surah Az-Zumar and ayah number 24 and 25 and 26 inshallah. I'll recite the ayat inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أفمن يتقي بوجهه سوء العذاب يوم القيامة وقيل للظالمين ذوقوا ما كنتم تكسبون كذب الذين من قبلهم فأتاهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون فأذاقهم الله الخزي في الحياة الدنيا ولعذاب الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون. The translation of the ayat: then is he who will shield with his face the worst of the punishment on the day of resurrection, like one secure from it, and it will be said to the wrongdoers, taste what you used to earn. Those before them denied, and punishment came upon them from where they did not perceive. So Allah made them taste disgrace in worldly life, but the punishment of the hereafter is greater if they only knew. So these are verses that, after what has been mentioned before about the Quran and praising the words of Allah, these are the means of guidance. And the next verses, 27, وَلَقَدْ ضَرَبْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ, that we gave to the people in this Quran from every parable and every example for them to be reminded. So these verses comes to show who are the ones that are guided versus those who are not guided. As the previous verse says, ذَلِكَ هُدَى اللَّهِ, this is the guidance from Allah, as mentioned in the Quran. يَهْدِي بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ, that He subhanahu wa ta'ala guides with the book of Allah whoever He wills, subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَن يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ, and whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lead astray, there is no guidance for such an individual, and all of that is by the justice of Allah and the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, as a result of that, أَفَمَن يَتَّقِي بِوَجْهِهِ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Right? So this is a question that the answer to it is obvious, and the question is for the taqreer, to establish a meaning, and that's why even the continuation of the question is ready to be seen obviously. So أَفَمَن يَتَّقِي بِوَجْهِهِ is the one that shield yattaqi by his face سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, the worst of the punishment in the day of judgment. And that's the end of the question. What would you say how to complete this question? Is he the like as the one that is safe from it? But that second part is not mentioned. Why? Because it's an obvious thing. أَفَمَن يَتَّقِي بِوَجْهِهِ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ, not the like. And that is the part that needs to be focused upon. The severe punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to see how complete difference between someone that is being warned the worst of punishment that is beyond one's understanding, no one's seen the like of it whatsoever, versus the ultimate joy that also no one can ever comprehend the magnitude and how much is it. So this is the two extreme punishment and rewards, because that's the place of al-jaza, the place of recompense. So when someone sees this, Right? It's not something in between, and that's by the mercy of Allah. For the choice to be very clear, as far as there are the two groups in the day of judgment, فريق في الجنة وفريق في السعير, group in Jannah and group in the hellfire. The same way their actions should be in this life. Completely different. What's in their hearts, what they see, what they speak, what they act, completely different. And the difference, or that what makes the difference, is what's in the book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. The people of Jannah, they follow this book. They follow this Quran, تنزيل الكتاب من الله العزيز الحكيم, as the surah started with. So this is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that whoever follows it, he will be safe from what's mentioned. Imam Sa'di rahimahullah, he says, أي أفيستوي هذا الذي هداه الله, referring to the previous ayah. Is he the same, the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided, ووفقه لسلوك الطريق الموصلة لدار كرامته, and he guided him to take the path that would make him reach al-musila, to the abode, to the place of the karama, the honor and dignity. كمن كان في الضلال, is he the same as the one that is in dalal, in deviation? And the path of deviation in this world, right, in the hereafter, it's clearly stated in the Quran. سوء العذاب, the worst of punishment, humiliating punishment, عذاب مهين, عذاب أليم, painful, عذاب عظيم, great punishment, with the details that are mentioned in the Quran. That's the result of al-dalal. But the path of al-dalal in this world might be, to the foolish ones, it's the most, it's the more enjoyable path, because it's just following the desires, not following the book. Versus the path of at-taqwa and the hidayah is to go against one's desire, not in the ultimate sense, but to follow the book of Allah. And that's why this jihad against oneself, this is a must. And as Malik ibn Dinar rahimahullah, he says, جاهدوا هواكم كما تجاهدون أعداءكم. Strive against your enemies. Nobody likes to strive against their enemies as a choice, right? So the same thing when it comes to striving against one's desire that opposes the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So to know what's in the Quran and the Sunnah, and to know, to prepare oneself that your desire will be against it to some extent. So you have to oppose that, you have to strive against it. And that's the importance of the ilm and the amal. So are they the same? So the verse gives the matter to makes it very easy for a person to choose. He says, وَاسْتَمَرَّ عَلَى عِنَادِهِ, that person that continued to be in that path of stubbornness, حَتَّى قَدِمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَجَاءَهُ الْعَذَابُ الْعَظِيمُ, till the Qiyamah came, because everything is moving towards that, and then the great punishment comes to him. فَجَعَلَ يَتَّقِي بِوَجْهِهِ الَّذِي هُوَ أَشْرَفُ الْأَعْضَاءِ, so he kept on يَتَّقِي أَفَمَنْ يَتَّقِي, he kept on shielding his face, which is the most honored of the parts of the human beings. وَأَدْنَى شَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْعَذَابِ يُؤَثِّرُ فِيهِ, and the smallest amount of punishment affects the face. And that's why everybody will cover their face if there's harm coming their way. The first thing that they will try to protect is their face. And that's the first thing that would touch the fire when they're thrown into the fire. فهو يتقي فيه سوء العذاب, so he shield himself in it, the worst of the punishment. لأنه قد غلت يداه ورجله, because his hands and his legs has been shackled, as also it's mentioned الأغلال and the like of that in the Quran. وقيل للظالمين, and it will be said to the ظالمين, to the wrongdoers, الظالمين أنفسهم, those who wrong themselves, بالكفر والمعاصي, with disbelief and sins, توبيخا وتقريعا, scolding them, humiliating them. ذوقوا ما كنتم تكسبون, taste what you used to earn, you earned it. So it's as a clear meaning that we see how it's repeated in the Quran throughout the verses and the surahs that we covered in the tafsir. You know, it's one's earnings. People see their actions. That's why they see the justice of Allah on the Day of Judgment. even the punishment in this life, people might not see their actions, right? They even, if someone, robbed a place and then they are punished, sometimes they forget what they've done, for example. Or they might find to themselves excuses or all kinds of things. Or they think the punishment is too much more than what their actions was in this world. But in the hereafter, when people are being punished, they see exactly what they've done, and the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing is the like of it. So they would curse themselves. They would see the perfect justice of Allah. So it will be said to them, "Dhuku, taste what you've earned. You earned it." So, and the warning came, and one after the other, and the matter was explained clearly. And you choose to follow your desires over the truth that Allah gave you the ability to choose what you think and you know with your aql, with your ability and intellect, to choose that over one's sinful desires. As it's established clearly that the kufr, once the haqq, the truth is presented to them, and someone continues to be in the state of kufr, rest assured that it's not because of someone is being convinced or it makes sense versus doesn't make sense. It's all something else. It's all stubbornness, it's arrogance, it's turning away from wanting to know the truth, not interested to worry about the matter, all kinds of things. But it's not that this is not the truth versus falsehood. There's no way in such a way that would be in the heart of someone that is sincere, going after the concern of having to be upon the truth. So this is وَقِيلَ لِلظَّالِمِينَ ذُوقُوا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْسِبُونَ. I see the word يَتَّقِي. Yattaqi, shielding their faces in the day of judgment. It's not going to happen. And you see how that they were commanded to have the taqwa of Allah, to shield themselves from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world. So what shield them in the day of judgment from the fire is their actions, their amal. But they come in the day of judgment without amal, without actions. So there is nothing but the hellfire for them to taste. And as also mentioned before, al-dhawq is basically a complete personal experience. And this is basically they would taste the punishment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from such a thing. And ذُوقُوا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْسِبُونَ. Then he says, كَذَّبَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Those who before them, they denied the truth. They said it's a liar. It's a lie. مِنَ الْأُمَمِ كَمَا كَذَّبَ هَؤُلَاء. They disbelieved in the truth as those ones present. Those also denied the truth. فَأَتَاهُمُ الْعَذَابُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. So the punishment came to them from where they did not feel it's coming. جَاءَهُمْ فِي غَفْلَةٍ أَوَّلَ نَهَارٍ أَوْ هُمْ قَائِلُونَ. In the beginning of the day, while they're taking their qaylula in the middle of the day, the punishment comes all of a sudden. The moment of death is the beginning of the punishment of the disbelievers and the wrongdoers and so on. So, and it shows that the nations before, because they passed and they returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those who are present are coming closer and closer to that also destination. And that is referring to man yattaqi biwajhi su' al-adab, they fall into the same punishment. So, and that's, to show the continuity of things. As the nations, one follow the others. It's like lineage. فَأَتَاهُمُ الْعَذَابِ. The punishment came to them. مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. From where they do not expect, from where they do not feel it. And as the previous verse one gives this example, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very clear in the Quran in many verses, أَفَمَا يُلْقَى فِي النَّارِ خَيْرٌ أَمَّا يَأْتِي آمِنًا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Is the one that is thrown into the fire in the day of judgment better, or the one that comes safe in the day of judgment? So this is the same thing. So what happened to the nations before, and what's going to happen to those who are present and those who come in the future, those who follow the same path? فَأَذَاقَهُمُ اللَّهُ الْخِزْيَ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَالْعَذَابُ الْآخِرَةِ أَكْبَرُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. فَأَذَاقَهُمُ اللَّهُ بِذَلِكَ الْعَذَابِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them taste by this punishment. Al-khizya fil hayati dunya. Al-khizya, the disgrace in this worldly life. In this worldly life, فَافْتُضِحُوا عِنْدَ ذَلِكَ. فَافْتُضِحُوا from al-fadiha is when someone's evil actions are exposed to everyone. So the person then feel the disgrace that he's being exposed to humanity. فَافْتُضِحُوا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ وَعِنْدَ خَلْقِهِ. By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and by the creation of Allah. وَلَعَذَابُ الْآخِرَةِ أَكْبَرُ. And indeed, the punishment in the hereafter is much greater. So this is al-khizyi fil hayat dunya, in this worldly life, and in the hereafter the punishment is greater. لو كانوا يعلمون, if they would just know. So فليحذر هؤلاء من المقام على التكذيب. So let those who are present to be warned against continuing to be upon التكذيب and denying the truth. فيصيبهم ما أصاب أولئك من التعذيب. So otherwise the punishment will afflict them the same way that it happened to the nations before. So to show that the matter, there's nothing new on the face of earth, it's just people following the ways of those who were before them. The people of Jannah versus the people of the hellfire. Human beings, they do not come up with something new. It's the same actions basically. And for people to pay attention to this so that they don't fall into the punishment that comes min حيث لا يشعرون, whether it's all of a sudden or when they depart from this life thinking that they would receive honor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but then they receive the total opposite. So from where they don't expect whatsoever. And again, فَأَذَاقَهُمُ اللَّهُ, that period, the personal experience for a person to taste the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when someone might think, from the believers, which is usually those who have lack of knowledge, the young ones, they're more attached to the materialistic things of this world. They might say, why when they see the mushrikeen or the disbelievers or the wrongdoers enjoying all kinds of ni'mah from Allah, favors of Allah. It's not a real favor, but this is a favor for them to be obedient to Allah. But they see all kinds of delight in this world and things like this. So the believers might think, why can't they just be punished now? And we talked about that before also. And that answers, or why when people say why the punishment is an everlasting one. Isn't it too much for actions like limited in few years in this life? This actually answers that. So when people say, how come the evil ones are doing so much evil on the face of earth, and there's no stop to that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not send lightning from the skies to ruin them all and to destroy them. Because the punishment in the hereafter is an everlasting one. You see the answer, and I hope it's clear for someone you understand this. The answer to this, because the punishment is not just lightning from the skies and that's the end of it. No, it's the punishment is an everlasting one for those who die in the state of disbelief. So that's why they are left to do these types of things in this world by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as this is one of the ways to answer it, of course, as far as the punishment for them. So when the punishment for them in the hereafter is an everlasting one, no one would say, well, that's too much punishment for the actions that they did in this world. And you add to this, of course, the test of this life, that has to be evil and good, for the believers to be tested, for people to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accordingly, to strive to establish the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why وَلَعَذَابُ الْآخِرَةِ أَكْبَرُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. So if people have the reality of the hereafter, and the delight of Jannah and the punishment in the hereafter, they would see things in the right way of this life. And the khizyi, the disgrace, and all of that as a result of turning away from the truth. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who benefit from the ayat of the Quran. And these are the best examples of the Quran also, as we see, to follow the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب, we'll see inshallah if you have any questions. Otherwise we can see who wants to do memorization test or to be testing their memorization inshallah. So the attendance code is taqwa. The attendance code is taqwa.